4. Okay, welcome back to another awesome episode of the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. I'm Nick, and with me, as always, is TJ, who's hammered, and Anthony the Rook. Welcome back, boys.
I don't like that we swapped now. I'm on the bottom. And TJ,
what is that about? I look high as a kite right now, and I don't know why.
Well, I look like an idiot. That's why I'm wearing glasses. So
you wear your sunglasses at night.
Yeah.
So, what do we got going on today for us in the sporting world? NFL's already getting hot and heavy. Week 3. MLB is starting to wind down, but we've got some hot races with the AL East and the wild card. 3 teams in the AL East are fighting for wild card berths potentially, with the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Toronto Blue Jays, who seem to be somewhat unraveling under the pressure of these last few weeks. Hockey gets started in a couple of weeks with the preseason starting off with the Rangers and the Islanders kicking off the preseason. The NBA, I'm sure, is right around the corner because I'm pretty sure they play 11 months out of the year and 6 months of it is the playoffs. What do you guys want to talk about first, Rook?
I was going to say, let's start with something you didn't mention, which is as of today, we're recording on a Thursday, but tomorrow starts the Ryder Cup, which is golf's big USA versus Europe. Sorry, not Europe, the world, technically. The Europe is usually the President's Cup. So this is the world against USA.
So everything is the world against the USA. Everything.
Pretty much, yeah. And usually USA loses this one. It's not one of those historical great events for the USA. We won one, I think, last 2016. So last time we won, it's every 2 years. So we missed out in 18. This one was delayed, obviously, for the COVID pandemic. And is now.
Are they calling it 20, though?
I don't know. I guess
because they did that with the Olympics and it threw me off.
Yeah, they called the Olympics 2020, even though it was actually 2021. I'm not sure if they are calling it the 2020. So Ryder Cup kicks off tomorrow. We have pairings of my brother just texted me Xander and Cantley, which my brother refers to them as like the Spider-Man meme. They just point at each other, look exactly the same. They look pretty much alike. And there's actually an image my brother sent me of them. This was not, I don't think this was during the like USA.
So I'm seeing Ryder Cup. It says US versus Europe.
Oh, maybe. But look, this is Xander and Patrick King.
They just dressed the same. That's all. It's called teamwork. Last time, like I'm watching this football game right now. Everybody there is dressed the same too.
No, but that was during an event. That wasn't for the.
Sometimes people got style, and they look the same. That's all. Like,
Oh, so
you haven't shown up somewhere wearing the same tie as somebody else, then you have no style whatsoever.
Yeah, you're right about the President's Cup is the USA versus the world, except for Europe with the president. That's why I was.
The Ryder Cup is against Europe.
Is against Europe because, like, what's his name? Ernie Els from South Africa usually is like the captain of the world.
Not this year.
President. Well, for the President's Cup.
Oh, okay, right on.
He can't be for Europe. He's from South Africa.
Right on. So
they're close. They're like neighbors.
What are some of the
train ride?
What are some of the is that a Euro Trip reference?
Yeah. That's why they've always been allies.
Allies. That was good.
Are you asking for some of the pairings tomorrow?
Yeah. What are your intriguing pairings from what you're looking at?
Well, obviously Patrick Cantley and Xander Schauffele, the twins.
Shoffley. God damn it. Every fucking time. Say the man's name right. Between Xander Shoffley and fucking Jameis Winston. Can you say anybody's fucking name?
I say Jameis's name right. I just don't spell it correctly.
Get your shit together, piano man.
Remember I called what do I call it? You guys called the Rapino. I called the
Rapino?
Rapino. Rap.
T-net.
They did not match Koepka with Bryce and DeChambeau. A lot of people wanted to see.
Is tomorrow 2-ball or?
That's a good question. It's foursome and 4-ball match, but it still is the same pairing. So Brooksy is going to be with Daniel Berger, the real
yes,
Brooksy.
It is. It's Jordan Spieth with Justin Thomas, which I think is a very intriguing duo. Dustin Johnson and Colin Morikawa, Daniel Berger and Brooks Koepka, and Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantley for the United States of America. And then for Europe, we've got John Rahm and Sergio Garcia.
For Europe, against Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth.
Yep, that is correct. Victor Hovland and Paul Casey will go up against Dustin Johnson and Colin Morikawa.
I actually like that pairing against Dustin Johnson and Colin Morikawa. Johnson's been a little shaky lately, and Morikawa had back injury or back surgery. So at Victor Hovland, they're plus 100 right now. So looking
Matt Fitzpatrick and Lee Westwood will go up against Daniel Berger and Brooks Koepka.
Yep.
And then last but not least, Rory McIlroy and Ian Poulter will go against Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. Again, I like the Spieth, Thomas, and John Rahm against Sergio Garcia. I am not an avid golf watcher, but I know all 4 of those names. So that shit's got to be good.
I will say this, by the time everyone hears this, it's going to be over.
You know what's funny is like coming up.
The audio will be out tomorrow, man.
Coming off this season, I would have said Rahm is the hot hand for Team Europe, and pairing him with Sergio, because Sergio is so on and off. That's why wouldn't you go with the auto win of John Rahm and somebody else, anybody,
and Rory McIlroy,
yeah, even Ian Poulter.
Yeah. But I like Rahm and Sergio Garcia.
Sergio, but the problem is if Sergio Garcia is off, he's way off.
All right, wait. So does Europe have to do same country?
No.
Because isn't John Rahm Spanish?
Yes.
And isn't Sergio Garcia Spanish?
Yes.
I thought maybe that's why they were doing it.
No, it's just that just happened to be coincidence.
Okay.
But the USA is actually favored in all 4 of those pairings, and they also are
Really
favored to win the Ryder Cup 2-1.
Go Merc.
But
My arm is really hairy. Holy shit.
Historically, they do not win these matchups, so hopefully they come through.
History is doomed all of us at some point or another. So I think
don't forget though, it could end in a tie.
See, that's why we don't fucking watch shit like that in America. Okay. That's why baseball is America's pastime, because it doesn't fucking end in a tie ever. Okay. In our country, there's winners and there's losers. Okay. And you hope not to be the latter. All right. Everybody else on this planet, they're okay with being tied. Everybody gets a fucking trophy. All right. That's why none of them have ever been to the moon.
It's true.
They've actually other people.
Then Americans? No, they have not.
No one has ever been to the moon except for America.
Have there been other people?
Fucking savage. What's wrong with you? There have been more aliens on the moon than there have been people. All right.
What's wrong?
No other country has ever been to the moon except for us. What's wrong with you?
There have been like what, a total of 12 astronauts on the moon? Maybe
Something
14?
like that. Something like that. A very minimal amount of people.
Well, technically, no one's ever been.
Don't you fucking Buzz Aldrin punch somebody in the face for saying some stupid shit like that?
At like 70 years old.
I'll call that motherfucker up right now and have him at your doorstep. I saw his. Listen, I'm in the army. I saw the man's travel fucking claim. All right.
Nah, I'm just fucking.
Better not be a fucking moon landing denier. Capricorn 1 is not a real thing.
All
right. Moving on from the Ryder Cup and the lunar landings. Where are we going next?
I just explained myself. I've been sick all week, so I'm just not feeling. just saying ridiculous shit.
Listen. Golf is the only sport that's been played on the moon.
It's true.
No, I'm pretty sure they threw a ball on the moon.
I don't think
It
they
was
did.
part of their experiment.
That's not a sport, though. Throwing a ball isn't a sport.
No, they had a catch.
They had gloves?
I think so. Well, they had their fucking space gloves.
No, it doesn't count.
And golf's not really a sport. It's what you do when you're done playing sports.
That's
like
not true
we play
either.
golf now. Why? Because we don't play baseball anymore.
I can still play baseball. I don't know about you.
I'm not saying we can't play baseball. I'm saying we don't play baseball.
We can't. I can.
The fuck are you talking? Fuck you, first of all. Second of all, moving on.
MOB going to the hot races.
Let's talk about that. Did you hear what happened this week with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays?
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Kevin Kiermaier and his infinite douchedom.
You do hate him.
He's a douche. He's like, there's some people that just like, dude, you're a great fielder, but other than that, you kind of fucking blow. Stole a fucking pitching plan from the Toronto Blue Jays catcher after a collision at the plate. Well, a mild collision at the plate, and basically stole the pitching plan for the following 3 games. And that's how the Rays beat the Blue Jays 3 sets, because they knew what they were going to throw, because he stole their pitching plan, literally picked the playbook off the floor after their catcher dropped it kind of foolishly. Honestly, I mean, she kind of keep better control of shit like that. It would be like a pitcher drop, or excuse me, like a quarterback dropping his play caller and the defense is picking it up like, this is interesting.
I think it's fair game.
Nah.
I think it's fair.
I think it's
when you start drilling people, that's fair game too.
And that's what happened to Kevin Kiermaier, which led to a benches clearing altercation.
Standing there looking at each other, wasting time,
acting tough.
Yeah. That
was what was the last good benches clearing brawl you guys saw? Was it Yankees Detroit?
The one where
Austin Romine got into a fight with Miguel Cabrera of all people.
I was gonna say the one last year with the Reds versus not last year, the year before, 2019. The Reds versus the Pirates
with the closer.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good too. That was good too. That guy gets into a fight with everybody though. He's got beef with the whole league.
Clint Hurdle, the coach, was getting into it. The manager.
Who's that closer? It's a closer for the Reds, right?
Amir Garrett.
Amir Garrett. He's got beef with the entire like NL Central.
No, but my favorite part about that was when he's like, "I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go over there." And they're like, "All right." They like let him run over. He just went to go fight the entire team.
He's an idiot. He's a full blown moron.
And then Yasiel Puig got into the fight in that one, and he got traded. Like right before that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah. Yeah. His hair was still like the wrong color or some shit.
He had the mohawk and the
yeah. But yeah, so that's what's going on with the Blue Jays. Obviously, the Rays are in first place in the AL East. The Yankees and Red Sox start tomorrow, a big series. That could very well it could very well leave one of them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Although I don't consider that one game wild card to be the ALDS baseball plays series, not one game. And
I agree.
That one game wild card nonsense is not a playoff. That is just fucking. That's not the postseason. That is you being a loser and not winning your.
It's an extra game to get you into.
It's an extra game to make money for fucking teams that shouldn't be in the playoff. Because Nick Mangold's in a commercial. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. I got distracted by Nick Mangold, future Hall of Famer.
Yeah. But speaking of that, the races and everything. So the Cardinals. But won 11 straight. I don't know if they're winning now, if they're playing today, but they won 11 straight to pretty much take a stranglehold over that second wild card spot. They kind of came out of nowhere. I think they had like a really low percentage chance of making the playoffs. And now they have like a 78% chance.
Yeah, they are. I'm trying to figure out, do this math real quick. I want to say they're 4.5 games ahead of
4.5 games up. Mm-hmm. Yep. And
the Phillies are making a push too. Bryce Harper is having an MVP caliber season.
He is.
If only he could have played for the Yankees.
No, thanks.
It's no Shohei, it's Ohtani.
At least Bryce Harper's team's trying to make the playoffs.
That's true. So is Vlad Guerrero's. I would probably give it to I would lean towards Vlad Guerrero getting if he gets a triple crown over Shohei Ohtani, only because his team's still in contention.
Well, again, it's that word of value, right? What is value? Yeah. $1 to a poor person's worth a lot. $1 to a billionaire is worth nothing. So value is subjective, and to me, I'm sorry, but
last time I checked, it's still worth $1.
A guy. Again, but how many dollars do you have?
It's still worth $1.
No, but worth and value are two different things.
Even a billionaire wouldn't chase after $1.
Yeah, if I dropped $1, I'm going after that motherfucker. I can go get some M&Ms or some shit with that.
But $1 is always worth $1.
Guy, worth and value are two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said, what's it worth? It's worth $1.
What's it worth to you?
$1.
It's worth a pack of peanuts to me. It's not a fucking Jeff Bezos. Don't give a shit about $1. Bezos, whatever he wants to call himself this week. He's a billionaire. He could be whatever he wants.
Yeah, but he needs 1 billion of those $1.
He could be the next American on the moon.
Jesus, you guys are losing me. I'm gonna fall.
Okay, so this weekend the Yankees could potentially bust the Red Sox out of the playoffs, and the Red Sox could do it to the Yankees too. Pending a sweep, if either one of those teams gets swept this weekend, they've just given up a playoff position to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays seem to be unraveling very slowly, but potentially, I think this season, for me at least, I gotta say, we're winding down. The season's almost over. The Padres are the biggest disappointment to me.
Yeah,
hands down, because they spent all that money and they were like, "We're making a push. We're going to be with the big boys now," and they're not even going to make the playoffs.
No. And the Giants are the biggest surprise because they just not much change.
Yeah.
They're in first place for the West. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, San Diego is only 2 games over 500. That's not good for how much money they spent on their franchise in the last year. Especially with the trades that they made for significant arms like Blake Snell. And if you on paper, and this is why we play the games, right? The Yankees and the Padres look great on paper, but this is why you play the games. Mm-hmm. And the Padres almost definitely aren't making the playoffs, and the Yankees might miss the playoffs as well. So, I think the Brewers and the Giants and Padres are big surprises in the NL. Didn't expect the Brewers to be as dominant as they are. I'm not saying I didn't expect them to make the playoffs, but they could potentially win 100 games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, they still got another 10 games left.
Yeah.
They could win 100 games. If they went on a little streak right now, they need 9 more to win 100. It's not impossible. Unlikely, absolutely, but actually there's 9 more games. There's 9 more games today for the Brewers, at least, because they're at 91 and 62.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are losing right now.
Yep. So I think the next week or so of baseball is super important. it'll make a lot of decisions up moving into that wild card playoff, and we'll see where they go. It looks like it's going to be, if I had to put money down, I'd say the Yankees and the Red Sox will play in that 1-game playoff, and you'll see Garrett Cole pitch against
Chris Sale.
No, I was going to say John Jastrzemski, because Chris Sale looks exactly like our boy JJ. Shout out to our friend Yaz and his show over on Spotify. But it looks like that. And then in the NL West, it looks like it's going to be more than likely, definitely the Dodgers are going to be there. They are 14 games up on on St. Louis, which is the next team, and it'll be the Dodgers. And then if I had to put money down, I'd say against the Cardinals. And the Phillies miss out if I had to guess, just because that NL East is just so freaking pathetic.
Well, the Phillies just don't play for the AL East. They're only 2 games back.
Yeah.
And obviously, San Francisco and LA have both clinched a spot, like as you said.
Absolutely.
They're so high for the wall.
I'm interested to see if San Francisco and LA make the NLCS. Only because those two fan bases hate each other, and whenever they play, somebody gets murdered. Literally.
Well, they wouldn't face off the NLCS. One of them's in the wild card.
Are they going to play each other in the division series?
Yeah, because it's no longer based upon you can't play your divisional opponent in the division series.
That's trash.
It's based on that's where the Yankees and the Red Sox played early on. Was it 2018?
Yeah, it's trash.
Played in the ALDS because it's the number 1 seed versus the wild card.
It's trash.
So the San Francisco and LA could be playing each other in the playoffs, which sucks, but
that's awful. I want to see somebody get stabbed in the fucking championship, not in the fucking divisional. All right. But it is what it is. Moving on from baseball, hockey season starts up in a couple of weeks, right? And did you guys see the news today? The Buffalo Sabres have taken away the captainship of Jack Eichel.
He's still not traded yet?
He's not going to be.
I love that response. He still hasn't been traded. He's no longer a captain. Apparently,
they want too much money. They want too much. They want too many players.
Yeah, I know.
But T, having been a former hockey player, how much does that sting?
Taking away the cap. I mean, the writing was on the wall in that situation.
Pulling the old Coach O'Ryan on Charlie Conway there.
That's a different situation entirely.
Because one is fictional and one's real life.
If you're doing it right, for obvious reasons. But in reality, situationally, if you're doing it because you're just not playing to your potential, or your coach sees that you're not doing what you should be doing, or somebody else is now overshadowing you as a player and now stepping up and assuming your role because you're not willing to make, put the time and the effort in, is one thing. But Jack Eichel's situation is just, he doesn't want to be there, and they really don't want him there, but nobody's going to give you 3 or 4 top tier players for one guy.
And picks.
It's not happening.
And picks.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
So Buffalo's going to sit on him. They're going to waste their own time. They're going to waste Jack Eichel's time. Have fun, because at some point they're going to move him, and it's just not. It's not a good situation for the team or the player.
What are you looking forward to with the Rangers this year?
I'm hopeful for the Rangers season. I mean, the Islanders were good last year, and they pretty much have the same team coming back in. The Rangers, couple maneuvers, couple new pieces. You hope the young kids like Lafreniere grow even more. Capo, Kravtsov. Listen, you hope they keep growing, and I'm hopeful for this year. I'm not going to sit here and try to put like, oh yeah, we're playoff bound, but I think we have the right pieces in place. We got the new coach. I wouldn't be
playoff bound.
I wouldn't be surprised if we made the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were somewhere where we were.
I think we're playoff bound.
I hope so.
I think we're. I think we're playoff bound just because it's hockey. More than half the league makes the playoffs.
Just about it.
You gotta be really bad not to make the playoffs.
True.
So I don't think we're gonna be really bad. I think we're gonna be better than we were last year.
No, it's not that you have to be really bad.
And we just narrowly missed it last year.
Right. I mean, and it was also a very odd year with the way the conferences stacked up, or not the conference divisions. It was very odd.
Yeah. Oh, not only that, but I feel like the season started very abrupt.
Well, they kind of just like, all right, we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, all right, it's Tuesday. We're going to do it tomorrow.
Oh, by the way, only the Canadian teams play the Canadian team. So essentially one Canadian team will make it.
The semis.
Yeah.
They're
doing that again, you're saying?
I hope
No. That was last year. It was weird last year. Last year was very strange.
Very weird. I hated that.
You're going to have coast to coast play. That's going to play a role in has Canada resolved their international travel issues?
Not really.
It's iffy. Wow. Okay. So maybe we will have a Canadian team in the semis this year.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly,
Canada.
Let's put it this way. For the sake of making money and for the sake of keeping things the way they should be, okay, COVID's here. COVID's been here for almost 2 years now. It's you can't be, oh, hey, yeah, we're your northerly border, but, oh, yeah, we're still closed to travel and stuff like that. Then I guess, you know what? Your 4 teams, you can play the Canadian hockey. That's it. Make your own 4 teams because you can't, you're essentially, you're stealing a playoff spot in the semis. And you know what? That was fine for this past year, but we're 2 years into COVID. You can't be stealing a spot and holding it down for Canadians. It's not good for the game. And at a certain point,
that's going to lose anyway.
Yeah, at a certain point, the NHL has to step up and say you're either traveling and playing or you're not. That's your decision, not ours.
Well, it's not their decision. Their country shut down international travel.
Yeah, but amazingly, after they made the semis, they made special rules so they could travel.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was okay for when, oh, now we're going to make some money. The country's going to make some money for this. No, doesn't work like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's total bullshit.
Exactly, I agree. I think the Rangers season, I'm positive with it. I'm giving positive vibes to New York Rangers this year. Like I said, I think these guys are going to grow. If you look at the standings of the points last year, they should have been a playoff team if they didn't have these fugazi, divisions set up last year because of COVID, right, as we were just talking about. So I think they just improve. I think they get better, and I think they're going to be. I'm feeling confident this year.
I am as well. I
don't think they're going to end the drought, but I think they're going to make.
As long as they're moving in the right direction, I'm happy.
I think they make the playoffs. I'm actually really excited to see what Gallant does.
Yeah.
I want to see Panarin start out hot. Zibanejad started not having a preseason, I think, hurt him the most.
Yeah, he definitely suffered from the post-COVID, figuring the game out again.
Yeah.
Getting the energy back.
Yep. I mean, he got hot toward the end, really hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm hoping that Reeves brings, his flavor to the table. And
I mean, that alone, at least you can play Northeast hockey.
Yeah.
You're playing the Flyers, you're playing the Bruins, you got to have a big boy out there.
And the Islanders.
Yeah.
And the Capitals.
Yeah.
Well, the Capitals aren't Northeast, but
right,
sometimes you need to have a bruiser. Now, I know that the NHL has this bullshit where they're like, oh, that crap doesn't work anymore. And it's more of a
No, it still works.
It still works. It still works, It has subtle effects on the game that you don't realize are real.
Yeah.
Because they don't happen.
You think twice about taking out somebody like Panarin.
Yeah.
You're going to get hurt. And Ryan Reeves will hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm glad for. Okay, so moving on, and here we move on into the NFL
NBA, of course, great. I really want to talk about the NBA, and no, just
what's happening in the NBA?
Nothing. It's just
okay. I was wondering.
I was about to leave.
You're gonna go catch another bunny.
Getting excited for NFL Week 3, baby.
Yeah. So NFL Week 3, and
I need some NFL music. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. What is that?
I don't know. I'm not good.
That is not the NH. That's not the NFL. That's not any music. That's not that was don't take me down to the streets. That was not Wings. Like that's. I don't know what you saying that. No, nobody's saying. But yeah. So obviously,
there's boomer music that's like. No, it's not. It's in my head.
That's that. Dude, you're 0 for 2.
Yeah. Hold on,
you want to take another swing at it?
Yeah, give me a second.
I'm ready to punch you out. Getting you all ready.
Out of here. Do the Leslie Nielsen. You're out. The NFL music is bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-na na na ba-na na 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 na.
This one.
We don't hear anything.
Damn it.
I heard dun dun.
I can't put it any louder because then it's gonna wake the baby. It's the NFL primetime.
Yeah. The NFL music is like bum, 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 bum.
No, it's the NFL primetime ESPN.
Yeah, I don't do that crap.
Just telling you.
That's NFL.
No, look up the NFL primetime and play it.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, that's the NFL music. Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
You're not doing the one I'm asking.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're asking for is a fail.
I told you. I looked it up. NFL primetime.
That's not NFL music though.
It is too. Oh. Chris Boomer used it for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah. It's not what I think of when I think of the NFL. You're out. Strike.
So our teams obviously are 0-2. to start the season. As Jet fans, I don't think that's anything new, but it is definitely something old and tiresome. Last week didn't feel good at all because we moved in the wrong direction. But that's going to happen when you have a rookie quarterback. It's always going to seem like it's 50 times worse when it's the Jets because that's the way the media makes it out to be. Because let's be honest, Trevor Lawrence didn't play that well either, but nobody talks about that. And
their own.
And yeah, but I think I'm still pissed off about this Denzel Mims bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
He's better than Jeff Smith, and he's better than freaking Keelan Cole. You put both of those two guys together, and Denzel Mims had more receptions on one catch than they had in an entire game combined.
Yep.
And he's sitting the bench, and they're playing, and the answer from the coach is he can't play special teams. He doesn't know. You put your players in positions to win. And I don't mean win the game. I mean win at what they're trying to do. Benching Denzel Mims for not knowing how to play slot receiver or do kickoff returns is like benching Aaron Judge because he doesn't know the sign for bunt. He's not there to get a fucking bunt. He's not.
I'm sick of the excuse because you can't tell me, even if that guy comes in on a third down play or second down play, you can't tell me the coach can't look right at him in the face and go, button hook. And he doesn't know what he's going to do. No, he has no idea.
All he has to do is win a matchup one time. If he can only run one route,
yeah,
you put him out there to run that route and win. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing you got to. Hey, listen, it's like Al Pacino said in Any Given Sunday, go down to the Buick, make a left. That's it. That's all you got to do. Go to the Buick, turn around. The ball will be there. Like that. That's all you have to do.
You're purposely benching a weapon because he doesn't understand the X's and O's of your 350-page offensive play.
It's like a fucking remember the Titans. PD doesn't know how to play defense, right? And the coach goes, I don't need you to know defense. I need you to cover this one guy. That's it. I don't give a shit. Oh, don't worry about everything else. Just cover that one guy. Right. That's it. You put your players in positions to be successful. You don't sit there and go, you don't know the plays that I need you to know for arbitrary reasons, then you won't play. Okay, then you're just going to have a poor performance from your rookie quarterback because he doesn't have a valuable weapon on the field to be successful. And you're going to hinder your entire offense because either A, he doesn't understand the playbook and you're doing nothing as a coach to make him better at it, or B, you're just spiteful against maybe the player's spiteful too. But this is a player-run league.
Right.
That player will be in the league longer than that coach.
So you want to hurt the team and hurt the fans because he won't learn your playbook the way you want him to learn it.
Because you haven't tailored it to fit him.
Right.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Get him out there. The fact that he wasn't even dressed.
I know he was a healthy scratch. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Randy Moss or Jerry Rice. I'm just saying is he better than Jeff Smith?
Does he make the team better?
And fucking Keelan Cole. He's better than both of them.
He makes the team better dressed. And the fact that they healthy scratched him, he wasn't even dressed, is a joke.
And they're sitting there going, well, he can't play special teams. Your quarterback threw 4 interceptions and under 250 yards. Don't worry about special teams.
You
didn't lose the game because of special teams.
Let's get right into Zach Wilson, okay? Because those interceptions were abominations. He threw into triple coverage, quadruple coverage. The one was a tip ball.
One went straight through Corey Davis's hands.
Right, that's fine. Why are you throwing into quadruple coverage? This is not college. It's not college. You shouldn't be throwing into double coverage, let alone
honestly. Listen.
Coverage. You can't force the ball into people's hands.
You get mad about it, right? The point is, and when I see a rookie making a play, especially on a team like the Jets, and it's an interception because he's throwing into double coverage, the alternative is a 3-and-out. That's the alternative. I'd rather the kid try to make a play and then be like, fuck it, I didn't make the play, I'm going to drive on, than sit there and be like, well, I'm going to throw it out of bounds because it's an incomplete pass anyway. Does it look ugly because it's an interception? Yeah. But what's the difference? Either you throw the interception.
They scored 16 points on interceptions.
Doesn't make a difference. They would have scored 16 points on punt returns.
It doesn't. Difference.
They don't win that game no matter what happens. They don't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't feel good, but it's the same shit.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. I don't want to watch as a fan.
I don't want to watch 3-and-outs either.
I take a 3-and-out and somebody learning that they can't throw into that. Like what? He's throwing into no-win situations. Everybody playing defense has better hands than your receivers at this point.
But then don't play at all. Then in that case, just throw every ball away because they're never going to get. Only Corey Davis gets open. Only Corey Davis gets open at all.
Right.
So who else is there to throw to?
Dude, there's plenty of shitty teams with shitty offenses that have players open on almost every play. The Jets just can't seem to get open. That's a fail on the offensive coach. That's
It's
the
the
offensive
scheme.
coordinator.
It's the scheme.
horrible.
I mean, the only people that ever get open are the check down guy and Corey Davis.
Right.
And
But
nobody
that's the
wants
other
to
thing.
watch 3-yard passes.
How many times did he miss the check down guy though?
Did you guys see the breakdown of that play? Like a 12-year-old kid did it. Did you see the break?
I didn't see it, but
So he basically pointed out that, like, obviously there's no separation between any of the wide receivers.
Mhm.
Two guys coming free, completely unblocked. You have two Jets in the corner. Just who knows what the fuck you're doing. There's nobody near them. They're just standing there. And then you have the other Jet offensive lineman is pushing another Jets offensive lineman, not blocking at all.
Right.
And then he's got to make a decision. He's nothing to do. Two guys coming at him, maybe even three, and he just throws it to the one person that's in front of him just to throw it. Which, like, yeah, could he take in a sack? Could he try to check it down to someone? Maybe, but I mean, the Jets aren't really helping him here. And I mean, he is someone who in college normally, I guess, risk it or push the ball downfield and make a play where you get away with it in college. Where in NFL, you're not going to get away with it.
Listen, it's not that you get away with it in college. It's that you play against equal talent in college and that the players around you are generally somewhat decent in comparison to whomever you're playing at the time. Because in college, ultimately, your conference is about on par with you, or you're playing teams that you're definitely going to beat. In the NFL, the Jets are the team that definitely gets beat. Yeah. So you're not better than anybody. So even if your quarterback is better with the team the Jets have right now, you could have fucking Tom Brady out there and he's still going to lose. Not only is he going to lose, he'll probably get injured.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, you can sit there and hate on Zach Wilson all day.
I'm not hating on him, but
not you. I'm in general.
3 out of those 4 interceptions shouldn't have happened. If you had any thought in your head,
I would say the first one wasn't that terrible. He threw into what his problem was is that he threw in front of the receiver when he really intended to throw behind the receiver because there was a defender in front of him. That was fucking a bad throw. Not bad throw, a questionable throw. The second interception should have been caught. The third interception was an awful throw. Mechanically speaking, he didn't put enough on it and he threw the ball short. And you know, honestly, that's not a mental mistake. That is a fuck, I didn't put enough on it. And I can get beyond that because we all know he's got the arm strength.
I get it, but literally the linebacker didn't move. It was just
no.
Thanks.
Not that one. That one you're right. I'm talking about the one where he underthrew his receiver on the right sideline. He underthrew him. That's it. He underthrew him by 6 yards, and the DB picked it off. And I can get over that. It's like you missing your cutoff man, not because you don't know who your cutoff is, but because you just threw it too hard.
Right.
It's not a mental mistake. That's just, oh shit, I put too much on it. You know, like it's as simple as there was a little fucking moisture on the ball and it slipped out of my hand. Like I didn't mean to hit you with the ball. It just fucking happened. So, you know, I can get over it. Again, I don't get upset about it because, you know, it's going to happen. It is. He's a rookie. It is. He's a rookie. He's got one reliable receiver. His offensive line played a lot better this week than it did the previous week when the Panthers knew their entire playbook. And, maybe next week it all comes together. Maybe next week it comes together, or this week, it comes together where the offensive line's playing well. The quarterback's checking down more often. And I understand he's a young guy. He doesn't want to get caught in that Daniel Jones mode where you're throwing 3-yard passes. You know, we don't honestly, like, do we need another Chad Pennington throwing 4-yard passes and getting taken out of the game at the end of the game when the game's on the line because he can't throw a Hail Mary?
Listen, at least Chad Pennington could move the ball and didn't get intercepted.
It's great. And didn't win dick either. So fat lot of good that did. But Mark Sanchez went to 2 AFC championship games. Just saying.
Rex Ryan, baby.
Rex Ryan. But the defense is very surprising, and I'm happy with that. But let's get into the Giants and talk about the Giants with us, Rook.
Oh, God. What is it talking about the Giants? You're talking about a team that knows about 0-2.
Oh, God, dare I ask?
2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021.
I heard the Giants haven't had a winning record
since 2017.
Which was surprising because I'm like, the Jets had a fucking winning record at some point. They must have went 1-0 at some point.
Since the boat picture. Yeah, they must have been like 1-0 or something.
The boat picture with OBJ?
Yeah.
Where he's dancing, where he's twerking in a sheer shirt?
Yeah. But I think with that being said, with the no wooden record, so I think it even means like not even at 500. Like the Giants have.
Yeah.
The Jets might have been 500 at one.
No. Winning record means you had one game over 500. So if you went 1-0 on opening day, you'd be over 500.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think when the Jets were decent.
No, they weren't. Oh no, the year Fitzpatrick was the quarterback.
So that's why the Giants, since they had a win.
Right.
It's just brutal because I stayed up watching that game. Before going into it, I'm saying to myself, they're going to lose the game. I'm not going to care. I know they're going to lose. Then they give you all this hope. They're up by 6. They're up by 3 at one point. He gets Darius Slayton wide open in the end zone. Perfect throw. Nowhere near him. Drops it completely. All right, settle for a field goal. End up getting, now you're at a 6-point lead. And then you look at the score, you're like, this team's going to score a touchdown, or they're going to lose by like a field goal. Like, this game's going to come down to a point. Then it comes down to the field goal. The guy misses, no time left, and he's offside. Like, are you kidding me? This is just every Giant fan I spoke to I'm almost said Monday morning to Sunday, but Friday morning was just livid and just done. And I was so pissed. And I'm like, I'm done with the Giants. Not going to deal with it ever again. I'm going to be watching the Giants on Sunday. Like a fucking idiot.
I understand your pain, and I understand you're not in a good space as a Giants fan. And I understand. I want you to know that TJ and I are not remotely fucking sympathetic. You can take your fucking sorrows, shove them straight up your ass. You've seen your team win 2 Super Bowls and appear in 3. Fuck you. All right. We don't want to hear about your fucking sorrows. Your quarterback was I'm pretty sure Eli Manning is mentally handicapped, and you won 2 fucking Super Bowls. Don't cry to me, Argentina.
Hey, wait. This is not the Jets corner anymore. So you could go.
I'm just saying, like, I don't feel any Giants fans. I feel zero sympathy for you. All right. You can go cry until your fucking brain dries out.
You asked me to go into what the Giants fans.
And you give me a pity party about your team that won 2 Super Bowls in your life.
Okay, I'm not complaining about it. I'm talking about in the present.
I got a question. When was the last time your team made the playoffs?
2017.
Yeah, my team hasn't made the playoffs since like 2010. All right. I don't want to hear your fucking crying.
But it's not comparing it, Nick. We're not comparing here. We're just talking about right now, currently.
Even TJ and I are not as depressed by the Jets as you are by the Giants right now.
It's just
folks, I want you all to know Anthony's wearing sunglasses because he's been crying since last Thursday.
That's not true.
And he's got these crow's feet and he hasn't been able to sleep straight.
You know what? He should be crying because his division blows, and it's just who's going to suck less in that division.
See, I don't know that because the Cowboys look decent. The Cowboys look decent.
They look okay. Washington is.
I'm sorry, decent not mean okay.
But that's not good.
I didn't say good. I said decent.
You're gonna have somebody come out of there with maybe at best 10-7.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
Maybe 9-8 most likely.
Drafting Daniel Jones set the franchise back 4 years. Like we wasted.
Yeah, but that's not what you and your fucking fan base said when you drafted him. That's a good pick.
I hated him. Him.
True. No, I will vouch for him.
I never liked him.
He asked me about it because I'm an ACC guy, and I was like, I would never draft anybody from Duke to play football.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I said.
Nick, can you agree with me though? I've said I hated it.
Yeah. No, I will vouch for him.
You're one of the only ones because the Giant fans roll with we made the right decision, and then they get pissy 2-3 years down the line, like, oh no, they should have never did. Like, yo, you guys were happy with that pick.
And I like the Barkley pick, but I would even go as far back as Barkley draft pick was the reason why all of us.
Yeah, you could have traded back and still picked Barkley.
And here's the thing: they also did that because they thought they'd get one more year for Eli Manning, and that was stupid because they should have just parted ways with Eli at that point.
Eli wasn't that good in the first place.
They should have drafted a quarterback instead of Saquon Barkley. They should have got Darnold, or they should have gotten Josh Allen.
And you know, it's crazy. Everybody's sitting there going, Darnold sucked anyway, and you guys drafted him at 2. I don't know, he's doing fucking pretty good right now, 3-0.
Pretty good with the Panthers. I mean, I wouldn't have minded
with a great running back.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's the only pisses me off. Daniel Jones set the franchise back 4 years, and we're just going to go through another year of just mediocre.
I disagree. I think the miss on Eric Flowers is what really killed you guys.
Yes, the offensive line.
I think that you can't miss on a left tackle.
And they never fixed it. They signed Nate Solder. That's been terrible. So I don't know. It's just one of those frustrating things. It's like whatever at this point.
For me, I feel like if Bill Belichick gets rid of a player, his career is over.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly how I feel about Bill Belichick. I mean, I've been wrong about certain people. Like you could say that Tom Brady's career is not over, and he's not. You know, he obviously just won a Super Bowl again. But it's a group effort. It's not necessarily an individual succession. You know, like. The Buccaneers are not great simply because of Tom Brady. They have a very, very solid team.
They have a great team.
And you know, and the same could be said about Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski, though Bill Belichick didn't get rid of Rob Gronkowski. He quit.
He retired and then came back.
Yeah. So you know, but generally speaking, those fringe players, or especially offensive linemen, if Bill Belichick gets rid of them, they're done.
Yeah.
because he doesn't get rid of offensive and defensive linemen very easily.
They have never built up the trenches.
Yeah. So, we'll see where our teams are lying at the end of the season, I suppose.
And moving on from the Giants, just to make a quick point with the Jags, Urban Meyer is going to be back in college next year. He's not.
You think so? That's a hot take.
He said to Vic Fangio after the game, he told him every game in the NFL is like playing Alabama. This fucking guy. Just say you get a quit already, bro. Like,
what do you think, T? You think Urban Meyer's out? He's a USC head coach next year?
I think, I think so. I think these guys do. I think as a coach, you do better in college, and you're
if you're great, you have more longevity. Absolutely.
You're the man down there, especially if you go anywhere down south, you're it. You're the it factor. You're as big as NASCAR. And I feel like, I know it's the NFL, but as a prominent college head coach, you carry a lot more weight in your area. Those guys.
We've seen that a lot though, right? We've seen a lot of coaches that were prominent college coaches go to the NFL and not be able to hack it,
Just disappear into mediocrity.
We're talking about, not necessarily into mediocrity, but they have to go crawling back to the college ranks because they just can't do it in the NFL. Right,
because they don't.
And that includes Nick Saban.
Yeah.
That includes Nick Saban. Again, but in the NFL, you get what you're dealt, as opposed to college where you can just sweet talk kids into coming to your school. Nick Saban's only as successful as he is because he has great recruiting class. If one day they just didn't want to go to his school, he'd be fucked.
Yeah. Right, but that's the whole thing. It's symbiotic. The school is good. The school is the school to go to if you want to be pretty much getting drafted by the NFL, because if you play for Bama and you're starting, you got a good shot at going to the draft.
I'll say this. I give less credit to somebody like Nick Saban than, let's say, Dabo Sweeney or Bobby Bowden or Joe Paterno. Because when they got to their schools, those schools were nobody. When Bobby Bowden got to Florida State was not a good school. When Dabo Sweeney got to Clemson was not a powerhouse that it is now. And Joe Paterno turned Penn State into something worth talking about. Nick Saban got to Alabama. Alabama's always been a fucking school to go to. Always. Since fucking Forrest Gump went to fucking Alabama. So to me, Nick Saban going to Alabama and being a coach there, it's like, well, they're going to get top fucking picks for top recruits regardless. It's like going to fucking Florida after Steve Spurrier was coach, it's different taking a school and making it the school. As opposed to, you're a good coach or whatever it is, or you're an even better recruiter. And then you go to a big name school in the first place. And, like, for instance, if right now, fucking Urban Meyer leaves the Jags and goes and starts coaching at USC, and USC is great, that's not as fucking amazing as him going to fucking, I don't know, Utah, right, and making them into a fucking national champion.
Right.
Because nobody's going to fucking Utah. Jim Harbaugh, what he did at Stanford was more impressive than what Nick Saban does at Alabama, because Stanford was really good for a minute, really, really good when Jim Harbaugh was there. Sadly, he can't do it in fucking Michigan. If
you're drafting the best talent at a high school, you could be a subpar coach.
Absolutely.
But you have to be a great coach to take kids that aren't the best in their, coming out of high school and build a team that fires on all cylinders, regardless of how good they are in the talent department.
Yeah, you run into like a lot of Bishop Sycamore situations, with some of those schools, but I digress. I don't want to talk about college, but Urban Meyer going back to college next year, that's a hot take, Rook. And I look forward to seeing where that goes.
He was 1 week into NFL and the media is already asking him, are you taking the USC job? Because that's how fucking bad he is.
If you wanted me to put odds on it, I would put that as like a minus 250 bet. That the odds are he's definitely going.
You know what though? We're 3 weeks in, and we're 2.5 weeks in, because like the week hasn't even started. We don't know where the Jags are going to be at the end of the year. We don't. They're
gonna be like 3 and.
So you think the Jags are going to have the number 1 pick next year?
Probably.
Okay, I gotta say, them losing Etienne like in the first day of the year was not good.
Who knows what he would have been in the NFL anyway.
You know what though? You gotta
take into
consideration the familiarity that Trevor Lawrence has with that guy.
No, that's true. But I always say they already had James Robinson. He's not. It's only 2 weeks in, but hasn't been what he was last year.
And let's not forget that Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent, which we all know means that he's gonna win a bunch of Super Bowls, just like the last generational talent
Saquon Barkley.
Andrew Luck. We know how many Super Bowl trophies he won as a generational talent.
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, the next Gale Sayers, Reggie Bush. I actually think Reggie Bush does have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, as well.
Okay, so with that said, RIP to the gentleman that never got Pat's cheesesteaks. From all of us here at the Scoreboard Addicts podcast, thank you for spending this time with us. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please remember that whatever that song that Rook was singing is not the NFL music. Have a great week. Jets, 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 Jets.
Suck.
Thanks.
Stay rock.